Hello, boobly boobles. Have I turned myself on Discord? I have. Okay, that's a good start. You gotta make sure that's happening. How's it going, everybody? Let's get on to Moonbase screen. There it is. Hey guys, Moonbase 2 Transformers podcast pre-show. Got a decent amount of stuff to talk about today, don't we? There's been toy reveals with whatever toy. I don't remember what toy show happened, but I guess I'll find out as we get into the news. So we've got some figures to talk about. That's good. It's not going to be a slow week of news. Oh god, I'm tired. Ah! There we go. I'm screaming out the demons. You gotta get them out with a good old yawn, I suppose. Let's not dilly-dally or shilly-shally about. Let's get sorted. All right, let's just get on and start moon pooping. Yes, like I say, there's a decent amount to get through. Okay, it's music time, people.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Everybody, welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Decayed Andy. This is a news week. A news week to talk about news. Toy shows have happened of some description or another, and there's stuff to talk about. Woo! Wee! Wah! So let's get on with it, because like I say, a decent amount of stuff. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's doing well out there in the world of, humans. You're not Transformers. You don't transform, I don't think. Unless you're one of those weird gymnasts that can fold their bodies up like a pretzel and fit inside a suitcase. It's always kind of weird to see that. I remember seeing that for the first time as a young kid. It was, what was it called? It was a Sky One show. It was probably on America as well. It was like Behind the Magic or something like that, where a magician in a mask would basically expose, quote unquote, expose how magic tricks were done. And I'm positive that there was a gymnast in there who could fold herself into his suitcase, or fold herself pretty tight. It's the kind of place that would happen. But we're here to talk about Transformers. We're going to start off with third party as always, and Tyrant Toys, who are apparently a new third party company, because I'd never heard of them before. We'll have a click on some links and see if we can find out anything about them, but I doubt it. There might be an offshoot as usual of somebody else, but I don't know. Anyway, they're doing the Heavenly Tyrant, which is Starsaber, an interesting name. I'm guessing the name's meant to be a crossover between his appearance in the IDW comics, where he was slightly evil, and heavenly because of his good nature in the Victory series. I don't know. Either way, it's Starfire. Starsaber, in fact, not Starfire. Starsaber. This figure is going to be about 10 inches / 25 centimeters tall. 10 inches. Where does that put him? Is that Hasbro competitive? I think that's Hasbro competitive, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Hey, Exilion, my delicious little sausage man. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. I've been buying Gundams, but we can't talk about that now. I've been buying lots of Gundams. I hope you're doing well, my dude. Congratulations on married life and whatnot. I hope it's going well and all that jazz. But Tyrant Toys, the Heavenly Tyrant, 10 inches. I'm pretty sure that's the HasLab version of this figure, kind of size scale. So it's this is according to the story. This is a new stylized Victory Saber, if you say so. Ordered by commander from the blah blah blah. The figure features a Brainmaster gimmick, which includes one gun, two swords, gun, blast effect, and shield. We have images showing off his posability in a robot and alt mode, and all that jazz. This is coming from Weibo, and apparently it's going to start shipping in the first quarter of this year. Which makes sense. It's soonish then. It's weird we haven't had any previews of this. It's just kind of kicked off and went, here it is. Get ready, boys. He's big and he's coming. So let's judge him. He looks reasonably posable. He does have a gun. He does. Oh, he can kind of do the one knee on ground, one knee bent, hand on ground kind of pose. Did quite well, you know. It's like, okay, all right, okay. He has like nightmarishly thin antennas on the side of his head, like nightmarishly thin. Like if you drop this thing, I guarantee. Well, unless the material's like really pliable, I let's go with I guarantee. Yeah, it's fairly safe. To say. I guarantee if he falls off a shelf, those things are snapping. Like a good breeze, or like a cat walking by and its tail slaps it. Those things might explode off, unless, like I say, they're of really good quality plastic. I don't know, but it is slightly crazy to look at, to be honest. The shoulders are different from like the Hasbro version. The Hasbro version shoulders, the red bits, the big red squares on his shoulders are not square, they're a different shape, so it's a bit more of a, I guess, anime angular kind of look to him, which is maybe for the best to kind of separate it from the HasLab one. And like I say, reasonably posable. They showed the cockpit of the jet opening up, and there is a pilot inside, and the head on it is like really, really small, like really, really tiny. Like looking at it, to me, it looks like it's been snapped off. I don't think it has. I think that's meant to be how the head looks, but it looks off. Doesn't look quite right. Maybe it's just it's the angle. Okay, they show another shot of the Brainmaster inside his boob, Saber's boob, and it's just a very, very small, tiny little head. So I guess that'll be it. They show Saber on his own, how he's gonna trundle about, and again, proportionally, it seems like pretty solid, pretty nice. The nose cone is more rounded. Again, I think Star Saber's from the HasLab was a lot more angular, right? I think. And the jet mode, solid. Looks nice. For a first outing, this doesn't look too bad. He's got the shield. The shield's being used in the jet mode as kind of like a back filler part, right? To gum up the arse of the plane, just to kind of fill it in, which is fine. I think the HasLab did that again as well. Yeah, it's something to use the shield with, I suppose. Yeah, he's got a big sword, big saber. He has posable fingers, so he can point and swear and do all the stuff you'd want him to do, I suppose. Yeah, I'm reasonably impressed. Apparently, the Brainmaster is 19 millimeters, so don't breathe him in or try and snort him. Looks like it's not super posable. Like it's got knee joints, it's got hip joints, but the hip joints, I'm guessing they're either a weird ball joint or there'll be like a pin going through it. Same for the shoulders as well. They look like they're either a mushroom peg joint or they're just going to swivel up and down. I'm not sure. Exilion, Mr. Bradley Man says, "My man, Gundams, yes, Gundams. I even watched G-Quux. I want throw in Mr. Brad. What did you think of G-Quux? Because I thought like there was about 20% of that show that I was really interested in, and then the other 75% was a love triangle, which I didn't give a fuck about. And they all kind of wrapped it up very quickly at the end. Mr. Brad says, "Thanks, amigo. Hope you're good too. I'm cracking on. You know. Anything else to say about this guy? Oh, they don't show any of the blast effects on the figure. That's a bit of a shame. I will definitely wait until the day when the universe is filled with peace." Is that something Starsaber said? I mean, probably. I mean, probably that's something he said. It's just not very like. It's not what I call an epic line or something. You go, "Ooh yeah, ooh that's a Starsaber line right there." That's just like that's something you find on the bottom of like a Pringles package or something like that. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, pretty happy with how it looks. Mildly concerned about the price, as you always should be. I imagine it can't go too much, right? It's not going to be on Show Z, is it? They're not going to. I doubt they'll have pre-orders up. Maybe they'll have the pre-orders up where it's like 0.1% or penny. Maybe they'll have it there. Okay. Oh no, there he is. That him? No. No, there's another Star Saber, which we've just found on Iron Factory called Iron Trans IR-VO1G Star Saber Limited version, What the fuck is this one? So this one is going to be 35 centimeters tall or 13.75. So it's going to be a little taller. His little antenna nipples are a little bit more normal sized. This one looks a bit more like this one's closer to the HasLab version. You can tell by how the shoulders are kind of more squared off and whatnot. Um, when did this happen? This one seems to have come out of nowhere. I'm not sure this one looks much better. This one looks more like something you'd see from a toy company, while I'd say the one we just looked at feels a bit more like a third party one, like it's a bit more stylized. Yeah, this one's not doing it for me quite as much, to be honest. But this one that I'm talking about is priced at £129. So maybe you could guess that Heavenly Tyrant Dude Sword Blade Man is maybe going to be maybe similarish prices. Maybe similarish prices. Maybe. Just a guess though. Mr. Bradstein's. I've seen bits, need to get to all watch it, but I'm good with love triangles. Okay, fair enough. It annoyed me. I'm like, I'm here for the interesting alternate universe stuff and what you could do with that. I don't want you to just have a love triangle with people who are not really involved in the interesting stuff. But yeah, what are you gonna do? It's been a while since I've seen a Gundam series that I was like, wow, this is really good. I have started buying the Origin mangas. So I've got like the third volume of the hardcovers, and they're pretty good. It's a pretty interesting retelling of the OG Gundam show, I will say. So next up, we have DNA Designs. DNA Designs cracking out even more upgrade kits. This one's just a repaint of their, no, it is a repaint. It's a full repaint of their previous kit, or a previous kit. It's the DK55B. I imagine the DK55 was the previous one. So let me read you the blurb. It's going to be estimated release date on May 26th, May 2026. Pre-order deadlines in about 9 days time from now, so the 24th. So this is all your upgrades for Razor Claw, the repaint of Beast Wars. Oh, I want to remember without looking. I'm gonna have to. Oh no, Tigerhawk. It's a repaint of Tigerhawk. Razor Claw's repaint of Tigerhawk. So if you didn't know, this upgrade kit has wing filler pieces. It has a new kitty cat claws. It has a mask to go with the toy, 2 guns, and what's the purple thing? Maybe it's a connector for the head. It has some sort of purple thing, and I can't see what it's for. I don't think it's that interesting, the extra purple piece. But if you looked at your Razor Claw and you went, I want him to look as fancy as Tigerhawk, who you may or may not have all upgraded as well, I suppose. This is an okay upgrade kit. Again, it's fine. It's not super exciting, especially since it is just a retool or recoloring of the one we've seen before. But the wing filler parts are nice enough, I suppose. So if you're interested, if you've already got Razor Claw, you want to make him nice and prettier for maybe a bit too much money, there you go. The option's there. There's also been 2 upgrade kits done for the Studio Series Grimlock figure, but for the G2 Tiger Stripe decoed version and the standard blue decoed version. So this is the DK67Y G2 King of the Monsters. This is to upgrade your Grimlock figure basically into a Godzilla Megatron crossover looking figure. I don't know why. This one came out after the blue deco, but it's the same kit effectively. Just one is blue, one is yellow. And it gives you many parts to upgrade him into a more Godzilla-esque styled version. So its estimated date for release is April. Pre-order date is the 25th, so 10 days from now. Today being the 15th. The day comes out on the 25th. It said, okay, let me read the blurb. Yellow form, cosmic power, the Golden King monster, the Golden Monster King, if I could read correctly. After surviving a near fatal battle and successfully defeating a legendary super cosmic creature that was said to have once once destroyed Venus. That sounds like it would cause a problem with our solar system, but that's fine. Monster King utilizes its core system to reverse absorb and reconstruct the residual cosmic energy of its opponents, ultimately transforming into a golden sovereign form, radiating a brilliant yellow glow across its entire body. So it's saying it's a Super Saiyan Grimlock. Okie dokie. This form is capable of gravity interference and high density cosmic energy output, whatever that even means, representing an advanced combat state no longer constrained by Earth-based environmental conditions. Nonsense. Whatever. So you get new tail, you get 2 new back pieces, you get 2 new dinosaur arms that are posable. You have extra feet for the front of the legs, or the wrists, I suppose. And then you have some filler parts and an effect part and a new head to look like the Megatron styled one. So it's not really a massive upgrade, I would say. I like the fact that you do have the wrist filler parts, so those parts cover up the giant holes in his forearms, whereas Fisco, that's okay from a visual standpoint. The other is just, do you want him to look more like the Godzilla crossover version? And I'm not sure if you have the G2 Tiger Stripes version, like I do, like a true gentleman does, why this would be something you'd be super inclined to go for, you know? I don't know. I don't know. It looks interesting enough. It looks weird. I think maybe something that would have been nice is if they changed the heads for each of the DNA upgrade kits. So it was, it was a bit different. Actually, I say that the 67B, the blue one, does have more of a Grimlock styled head in the Godzilla helmet, which is interesting. I can't remember the original version of this kit. Let's have a look at the original version. What head did it come with? It came with... Oh, all of these have came with different heads. The original one, the 67, came with a much more Megatron-styled head. The B comes with a Grimlock-styled-ish head, but inside a little Godzilla helmet. And then the yellow one comes with a more Megatron-styled head inside the Godzilla helmet. So I guess I'm lying. There is some minor differences between all of this stuff. So that's nice, I suppose. It makes them mildly different, I suppose, at a small cost to the company. Not massive, but a small one. The extra pieces, if you didn't know, for the back and the tail can form a shield of a sort and a spear pokey stick, again, of a sort. It's, do you want a Godzilla-styled Tiger Stripe yellow Grimlock? Well, here's your option. Do you have the blue Grimlock? Do you want him to look more like a Godzilla-style version of himself? Well, here it is. I think the blue one works a little bit better than the yellow. Because, again, the issue with the yellow one is that the Tiger Stripes don't really move across his chest. So his dinosaur tummy, his chesticles, where his booblies would be, it's missing, like, more blue. It needs way more blue in the front there. And obviously, this upgrade kit is never going to fix that. It's more of an issue with just how the figure was originally painted. The new parts do have the extra blue on it. That does seem to match the rest of the figure. The blast effect part, nice enough. Nothing crazy. You look at it, you go, yeah, that's a blast effect part. And we've got an image of the two of them side by side. It's a bit of a weird, quirky kit. I don't imagine there'll be a rerun of this. I can't imagine people are going to be running out gagging for it. But if you're interested in it, you shouldn't have too much trouble getting either of them. I would recommend more the blue one. The blue one also comes with, instead of a laser blast effect, it comes with more of a blue flame effect. I think giving him a purple or a pink blast effect part would contrast the blueness of the whole dinosaur, the Godzilla mode. I think that would have been my choice. What did the original one come with blast effect wise? It came with right. Okay, so the original 67 came with a blast effect part that looks like the standard kind of blast effect parts you get with normal figures. Oh, wait, I lie. The original version didn't come with an effect part. The blast effect part just came with the figure. Okay, I guess that was just to show it's compatible. So this has the nice thing of actually having an extra piece in there to make him a bit more flamey, since the original blue G2 Grimlock didn't have a fire effect part, nor did the Tiger Stripe one. So, extra bimbles in there. XL Head says black is the OG head, blue upgraded Grimlock, but it did come with a new head, as we've seen. Yellow converts Grimlock into an upgraded Megatron head. So it seems. Interesting little line. Shame there was no green Grimlock. Just to complete a set. DNA Designs are also doing the DK32 and the DK50 G2 upgrade set. These are for Slag, Slug, Snarl. That's that thing. Seems like it's going to be a 2-pack together, or at least coming out at the same time. It says release date is going to be May. Pre-orders on the 25th, so same for the Grimlock ones. So the 32 is a standard configuration set, so you get a primary sword, weapon, and a shield enhancement part, and the 50 is going to be a primary weapon, so you get a gun and sword, interchangeable hands, allowing the classic forward-pointing hand pose. Okie dokie. Additional effects parts are going to be beam and impact effects, interchangeable hand and foot parts as well. So one of these is going to be a bit more interesting than the other. Let's be honest. It looks like, are they showing both of these together here? I'm guessing so. They're not like, again, crazy kind of upgrade kits, it seems. Clearly you do something with the Slug Snarl to get his tail to be a shield now instead. Which I guess is a thing, I suppose. Yeah, this is fine. Again, these feel like very minor upgrade kits, more so than like big old necessary ones, I suppose. I'm guessing, like I say again, I'm gonna assume that these are just, oh hey, this is the original kit that we've already done, just re-releasing it in a more appropriate colors, maybe with a few extra parts. But yeah, if you want to upgrade your G2 versions, the kits are coming. XL Head says, if we had a green, I'd rather have a kit that made him more Dragon Zord. That'd be neat. I wouldn't be against that. Technically, I suppose they could just tweak. You'd probably need to. The cheaper way to do it would be to just tweak the Godzilla kit rather than making a lot of new stuff if you wanted to do it that way. In my head, I was trying to work out, like, how could you get the arms? Because Grimlock has his little open up chest for his dinosaur mode, and the Dragon Sword has quite a big solid chest, and then little arms on the side of that. And I was like, maybe no, I don't think you could do that. Never mind. So anyway, we have colored images from Takara Tomy of the Evangelion Prime Unit 01. So we've talked about the uncolored versions of this figure for a while now. We now have colored versions. They also have a little video, which I guess we can play in the background. I don't really care if I get hit for copyright because I don't make any money from this, so whatever. It's nice to see it all painted up and colored. That's pretty cool. It doesn't look too bad. I remember, again, I've said for a while, I think this didn't look like a terrible looking Prime, to be honest. And I stick with it. It's, if you wanted to have like a mere like meh about it, the colors are, because they are purple, not the same kind of purple, but they are dipping close to being similar to like a Shattered Glass Prime. They're not, but they're kind of, it's like the difference between a Optimus Prime who's red and one that's maroon. It's like, well, they're both red. At least in my eyes, they're both red, so they're a bit too close to each other. But the mold, again, looks like they've done a great job, like getting the colors on it, getting all the oranges and the greens and whatnot in the right placements. They got it in a running pose, which is kind of funny. It's like, yeah, it's not exactly as nimble looking as, say, the EVA 1 was, or EVA 1 figures, because this thing obviously has to transform as well, so it makes articulation, posability a little bit more tricky, baby. Just a little trickier. I think it's funny he comes with tiny knife versions of his Optimus Prime murder shank swords. That's kind of fun. Price wise, oh, let's look at the other bits. It does have an alternate face, so it does have the Eva Berserk mode. It's going to be releasing on the 29th of August, so a while off. And going to be priced at 11,000 yen, so that is 72 US dollary dues. I'll throw it out there that you could probably get 3 to 4 high grade Gundam kits and posted to the UK for that price. I want you to consider that. All right. Think about it. Think about it. But looks nice. I'll be interested to see how well it transforms, like what people's opinions are of it when they get it in hand and they finagle it around and transform it back and forth a few times. Looks like it's gonna be neat. I wonder if there will be a repaint. Will they repaint it into was it 02, the red, I'll just say the colors, the red one and the yellow one, maybe the blue one. Will they do those repaints? I wonder. Because if you wanted to, you could probably just do a head change, right? Change Optimus Prime's head to maybe something more, I don't know, Ultra Magnus-y maybe for one of them, and do one into maybe more Menasor color. More Menasor head design for the other. I don't know. You could do something, and I think that might be neat. Or they could just do straight repaints either way, and that'd be fine. XL Head says, so its Matrix would transform into OJ instead of saving it, right? So its Matrix would turn Transformers into OJ. Yeah, no, Jam. Yeah, Marmalade. It would, yes. More than likely, it would, yes, it would do something nonsensy and silly. I do like that they've got the weird spear, whatever the spear was called, and they've changed it into a sort of axe. Though the axe has a bit more of a Batwing iconography look to it. So I get more of a Mazinger kind of vibe from it. But yeah, it's fine. It is interesting that the Matrix is, instead of being blue, it is red. I guess to kind of match the interior design of the robot, I suppose. So yeah, looks good. Looks nice. Cool. It's coming. I mean, still a while off, but it's coming. It's coming. Takara Tomy showed off some reveals for the MPG 24 Blaster Steeljaw and Steeljaw, and the MP21 Rumble and Frenzy, and the MP22 Ravage and Buzzsaw and Ratbat. Wait, hang on. 21 is Rumble and Frenzy. Okay. And then 22 is Ravage, Buzzsaw, and Ratbat. Well, that okay. Well, one has to cost more, clearly. Either way, we've got new boys coming. Blaster, we've only seen prototype images of Blaster and Steeljaw. You'll be surprised. He transforms into Boombax. I know. It's true, though. He does. We have a pretty, I will say, like, Blaster we've had enough of, where I kind of look at a Blaster and I go, yep, that looks like Blaster. It's not desperately exciting to see a Blaster at this point, especially in Masterpiece scale. I will say, I think the Steeljaw looks pretty good, to be honest. At least from the single angle that we have of it. And again, this is a prototype. The Steeljaw looks pretty nice. Looks pretty good. It's hard to say if it's going to be good and proportionally correct. But at least from the one image, it looks okay. And from the one image we have of it in cassette mode, I think that also looks pretty good and tidy. It doesn't look like a total mess. I mean, you can see some joints around the two holes in the cassette mode. I imagine they're ball joints or some kind of jointage. But apart from that, it looks reasonably nice, I think, you know? Okay. We'll see how thick it is, because it might be, again, from the side, it might be like really dense. And you're like, okay. Never mind. But solid, nice enough looking do of him, I suppose. I'm guessing it's the first official Masterpiece Blaster we've had. I think that's true. Chat, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's true. Will we get a Billy repaint? Perhaps. I could see that happening. Maybe he'd come with a Rosanna. Yes, that'd be okay. I wouldn't be against that. It's the usual shtick when a Blaster appears. It's usually at least one Billy. Because that just makes sense. Shattered Glass, probably not. Just because they're Masterpiece. I mean, maybe Masterpiece won't even do a repaint. Just because, it's Blaster, so who cares? Not, we like Blaster. We don't like Blaster enough to justify putting out another version of the figure and just recoloring it into a blue version of him. I don't know. And then we have the images of the little boys, the little guys. I don't know if this is a brand new Rumble and Frenzy or if it's just a re-release because they look, to my shitty brain, they look like a re-release of older ones. Same for the Ravage. The Ravage, Ratbat, and Buzzsaw. They look like they're re-releases as well. My assumption of this is purely because they are fully colored images and they've shown us them. These look remarkably similar to what I remember from TF Nations and seeing people's Masterpiece Soundwaves and these guys in the past. So again, chat, if I'm incorrecto, you can poke me in my tummy and I can go tee hee hee. Oh no, I was wrong. But these look pretty similar to what I remember. So, all right, rock and roll. Overgear. Sorry, Excelhead just sent a message, says, hopefully they designed Blaster with MP Soundwave in mind. I can't imagine that they wouldn't have done that. It seems like if they did, or rather they didn't do that, that seems like a fairly large oversight. I can't imagine they wouldn't have considered the height and at least the cassette interactivity. Those are the OG Soundwave cassettes. Yeah, that's what I thought. Thank you, Axel Hedge. I was pretty sure of that. So Overgear, we've seen Blackout and we've seen Ironhide and we've seen colored versions of those now. And I said I thought the color schemes on them were a little bit on the disappointing side, but the robots were pretty interesting. Well, Overgear has shown off their first Optimus Prime figure, so I guess this is Overgear 03. This is their Optimus Prime. He is a quite big, dense military truck with a fucking Musiv machine gun on his back and a SAM missile pod system, like something you'd see from Armored Core, which I think doesn't look too bad. See the robot mode? This is all in, CG render. So there's not much we can really pull from it, I suppose, apart from the general shape and how they want it to look. It's an interesting look for Prime. They've given him, it's a slightly longer nose truck, so the longer nose has turned into big shoulder pads for him, which gives him a bit more of a distinct look anyway. Some of the wheels are poking a little bit further off the back of the robot than I thought they would. I'm surprised that they're not keeping a set of wheels tighter to the shin. Looks like he's got a little bit of a long heel spur, but again, design-wise, it's an interesting looking Prime. Now, oddly enough, because he's Optimus Prime, this is one figure where I wouldn't mind them potentially holding back on the traditional color scheme, just because every Optimus Prime kind of looks the same, and I'm sure, say that to an Optimus Prime collector, it's yes, that's the point. We don't want him to look different. It's okay, but maybe it'd be nice to see him in a little bit of a different color scheme. I'd be surprised if they didn't try and knock out just a red one as well. I imagine he'd have to be similar colors to Blackout and Ironhide, right? Surely they just couldn't make him green. Green army deco color, because that would be weird. But I wish we could see the face better. You get the idea of the head shape, but we don't really, because the image is slightly him with his head pointed down. We don't get a full-on front view of the face, so it's a little bit harder to tell how angular the mask is. Does he have an expression? I assume he doesn't. Anything like that. Yeah, but yeah, again, I like his new designed gun. It looks way more like a, I don't know my guns, but it looks like a gun that you'd see in a military movie. It just happens to have the stock of the Ion Blaster on the back, which is kind of interesting. XL Head says, please, I don't need this Prime with the Bay movie colors. No, I think if they gave it a color scheme and they wanted it to match the other guys, it would be black with maybe red and blue as highlight colors underneath the vehicle mode, and the vehicle mode would primarily be a black. I would imagine. If they, again, it depends what design aesthetic they're going with. I think if we see this figure in a similar kind of vehicle color scheme to the other two, that'll probably be the general look of the line. The first two, they're released at the same time. They look the same. You go, okay, fair enough. If the next one looks the same, you go, okay, so that's just the style of these, or will be the style of these. So I guess we'll find out by the end of the year, minimum. So there you go. Okay. Oh, and speaking of those characters, they actually showed them again, proper colored prototype versions of them. They're a little bit better colored schemed wise. Like Ironhide, instead of being the exact same color scheme as Blackout, he's more of a silverish kind of gray, and Blackout is more of your dark bluish kind of gray. You know, kind of something you'd see on a military vehicle, kind of bluish black kind of gray. While Ironhide's a bit more of a standard like truck silver, I would say. I guess I'm saying I would say way too much, but you get me. You understand what I mean. We don't see any other colors of them. But yeah, I think these look pretty good. I would like them to be a little bit more colorful. At least Ironhide. But I do appreciate he comes with a minigun. That's pretty cool. He comes with the weaponry's not very futuristic-y, which again is sort of a nice kind of bit of a refresh in terms of how things look. Looks like he can store he can store the Gatling gun on his back. That's cool. It looks like he can store all of the extra stuff on him. So for a tooled up dude, that's pretty nice. And again with Blackout, he has a very oddly enough, his machine gun looks a little bit similar to Prime's, apart from the stock's different. The shape looks like again a standard kind of American action movie kind of styled gun, that kind of thing. Yeah, again, an interesting look. Blackout not looking exactly like Blackout, but he's a helicopter Decepticon. It's good enough. I think this is neat. Oh, he's even got like a really heavy like wristband. So he's got his arm bent at like a 90-degree angle, and then his wrist is just like bent so the gun's pointed downwards. You don't often see like those kind of wrist joints. Usually you see like an in and outy kind of wrist joint, not like an up and downy kind of one. The up and downy ones are way rarer. Granted, that kind of thing is usually better suited for like swords. So like characters to hold a sword, you twist the wrist down so you can have it pointing forwards. But I guess it could be applicable for guns as well. I'm still not sure. Like, yeah, I think the inny outy arm joint are better for like holding rifle poses or like getting the arms in a position rather than up and downy kind of wrist joints. Mr. White says, also hello, Mr. White. Mr. White says, Blackout reminds me of a Viacon. Is it the color scheme? What would you say about it? But they both look really nice. A little plain on color. Yeah, I would agree with that. What makes you see Viacon kind of color aesthetics, Mr. White? Is it just the color scheme, or is it like body shape? Because it's not that I disagree. I'm just trying to put my finger on what it is. I think the head sculpt may be a little bit there. It's hard to see without having a nice clear image of the face. It's a rather slender robot as well. Like if you remove the wings from his shoulders, he would be a really kind of narrow, long figure, I think, which is kind of interesting. Because obviously the wings don't transform at all. They're just hanging out there, being wings. XL Head says Blackout practices muscle discipline. He does. He does. Maybe he's accidentally shot too many of his friends, and he's just had to learn to not aim the gun at them. Mr. White says color is the big element. Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So these will be coming out soon, and we've got the Prime coming as well in the not too distant future. Do we say when? Oh, okay. So these are released, if I didn't mention it on a previous show, 31st of October, Halloweeny. Weird ones to have on Halloween, as they're not very. Ooh. What about if Ironhide comes out on Halloweeny time in pumpkin orange? That would be pretty sick. A pumpkin orange Ironhide or a pumpkin orange Blackout. With maybe pumpkin iconography for Happy Halloween. That would be cool. They won't do it, but that'd be pretty cool. So Halloween, Ironhide's going to be priced at 17,600 yen, which is 115 US dollar dues. Or you could get the O2, which is blackout, for 19,800 yen, which is $129 dues. So they seem like they're reasonably expensive. Maybe a little too expensive. Again, I think they have to be pretty good in terms of like plastic quality. They can't be too faffy to transform. But at that price, for that kind of money, you kind of expect like masterpiece Datsun level of transformations. You want them to be reasonably good, intricate transformers for that kind of money, right? Like, how will these stack up against third-party figures that are of similar price points? Something to think about, something to consider. They are nice, but they'd be nicer at like £30. They'd be much nicer at £30, I feel. At least in Andy's opinion. Whatever that's worth. Missing Link, C13 Grimlock. We have the anime colored version. We've seen the toy colored version of this figure, and now you go, what if we got this to look like the G1 cartoon? And yeah, this is probably the version I would have preferred as a child, color scheme wise, because it would look more like the cartoon rather than the toy version, which I was always like, why does he look like this? There were a lot of Transformers back in the day where I had them, and I thought to myself, why did they look like that? Because it's not exactly the right color, the right colors or the right look for them. But yeah, it's just that Grimlock, the missing link Grimlock with all the new articulation with like bright colors. So the gray is brighter gray. He has a different colored tail, so that's an even lighter gray. The gold's been and the chrome has been replaced with yellow. Doesn't have a translucent chest; it's an opaque chest. The black has been turned to a very dark gray. It's very dark. It's almost black, but you can see there's a minor difference between the two colors on them. And he's been given the blue visor, and he's been given the red sword. It's weird that he's got the red sword. Don't get me wrong, that's accurate, but it's weird that the standard Grimlock toy came with the silver sword, because I'm 90% sure that my Grimlock did not have a grey sword, it had a red sword. Maybe that's an English thing. He does still come with his two guns, the missile launcher one and the standard one, and he does come with a Diaclone Man, who has a flesh-colored torso and blue trousers and silver head. So it looks like a man who's taken off his t-shirt and then sprayed his head silver, which, fair enough. We've all got our kinks, I suppose. Oh, and the flap on the back that was usually translucent seems to have been molded in yellow for some reason. Don't know why. And they've also painted the back of it and the sides of it, a little bit of the sides of it, gray to match the rest of the dinosaur mode. It's kind of interesting. Also, it looks like the neck for the T-Rex mode, the front part of it and the side part of it have been painted yellow, and yet the back of it has been painted gray. I thought the neck was all around yellow, oddly enough. But I'm clearly not, because they've tried to do, they've done it with this figure, so yeah, this looks pretty good. It looks pretty neat. This would be the one I'd get if it wasn't like, I don't know, what's it meant to be going for, like 200, 300, 500 pound? Like, bleh. Oh, we've got the prices here. Okay, so this is the cartoon accurate deco. It's the missing link C12 Grimlock. He now features no clear parts, no chrome parts, and comes with a human quote-unquote worker. That makes it sound like he's got his own slave, in my opinion. He comes with his own human quote-unquote worker. Get back to scrubbing Grimlock's cock. No, master, not again. He's going to be priced at 18,700 yen, which is 122 US dollar dues, and will be out on the 29th of August. So basically, if you want this and you want the Ironhide and the Blackout, you've basically got a month. So you have this figure, then a month later, you've got the next one. So yeah, $122 dues. It's a I'm not surprised. It'll sell because, how easy is it to get a Grimlock, right? A nice quality Grimlock, and this should hopefully be good quality and whatnot. And it's extra posable, so it's kind of what a lot of people would prefer. But man, are each of the Dinobots going to come out? Are each of them going to be about $122? That's 500. Well, that's like 600 and something pounds or dollars. Just quickly doing maths in my head. Yeah, that's probably like $600 if they did all of them. And there's no guarantee that's going to be the case, obviously, that they're going to do all of them. And that's assuming that the price stays consistent as $122. So I don't know. XL Head says Blackout is same vehicle as Obsidian except a single rotor. I think you could say similar. Yeah, the similar, not the same. I mean, it's a helicopter, and Obsidian was kind of a helicopter. I wouldn't put them together just because Beast Machines has very weird vehicle modes. But if you wanted to do a repaint out of him into Obsidian, yeah, that could work, certainly. All right, so we also had the Transformers, the movie, the Apology Tour. Hasbro, sorry for killing Optimus Prime. I don't really know what this is meant to be. Right? I watched the video for this because there is a little video that they made for it, and I don't know what the point in it is. I don't understand, apart from it's clearly a marketing thing, but I don't think it was very clear in what it was advertising. So hang on. Mr. White says, that's a lot of cash for a set of Dinobots. I fear for those who would want G1 and G2. Assuming they do, again, that's assuming they do all of the Dinobots and then all of the Dinobots as recalls. Could happen. We haven't seen a huge swath of repaints coming out of the Missing Link line, but they have done like one. So maybe. XL Head says 120 for a figure the same size as the OG Grimlock. I'll stick with the Studio Series and the Combiner Wars. Well, I mean, unfortunately, XL Head, that's the price of Missing Link. The price of Missing Link is very, very, very premium. A little too premium. But if you're lucky, maybe a KO company will continue to knock them off in the future, because someone had knocked off the Optimus Prime, so maybe the other ones will do it. Mr. White says, Hasbro apologizing for missing the point of a movie when they spent the last several decades doing nothing but that. Right, okay, so let's get on to what this video is. I don't know if I want to... Okay, this is the we won't play the video because, we won't do that. What TFW summarizes the Apology Tour experience includes, let me read this to you. The 1986 Apology Tour. 40 years later, it still hurts like a truck. The loss of Optimus Prime remains one of the most talked about moments in the franchise history. Yes, probably the defining point of the franchise, I'd say. Hasbro is leaning into that and sharing the experience with a playful, year-long 86 Apology Tour, bringing fans together to grieve, heal... Oh, God. So wet. To grieve, heal, and reminisce together. What a wet way to describe it. Together at special fan events and screenings all year round. More information to follow, and a tissue strongly encouraged. Okay. So, I remember reading or seeing that part of the video and thinking, so that means America. Does that hold any sway for the rest of the world? My gut says no. My gut and previous history being slapped and beaten by Hasbro suggests that it's an American thing. We don't need those silly Europeans or Asians or anybody else. No. XL Head says, Andy, are you skipping the words I say on purpose? Yes, I am. Hasbro says, it continues, Hasbro, the Transformers, the movie 40th anniversary lineup. To make it up to fans, Hasbro has revealed a new wave of products Celebrating the film's milestone anniversary, for the first time ever, fans can experience the Matrix of Leadership. For the first, fuck off! It's not the first time ever. We've had Matrix of Leaderships before. This is a premium electronic movie replica alongside the new studio series. So the figures we're going to be talking about in a bit. Hasbro Pulse will host a live stream on the 15th, which we've had, to walk through the lineup, complete with surprises and characters fans love. Yeah, but no one that we'll get to the toy reveals. Without any expected plot twists, pre-orders will officially go up on the 16th, 17th, blah, blah, blah. Previously revealed products inspired by Optimus Prime, Megatron, Hot Rod, Hound, and Scourge are also on the part of the lineup, with additional reveals planned throughout the year. Nonsense woo-woo. Publishing and licensed product. One apology isn't enough. What's the apology? Hasbro and its partners are giving fans even more to celebrate with a powerful lineup of collectibles and storytelling, honoring the 40th anniversary, including products from Culture Fly. I don't know who they are. Jada Toys, I know who they are. Monogram, I don't know. Shoo Shoo Papa, I don't know. Skybound Entertainment, I know them. Super 7, know them. 30, yep. And Trend International, who I don't know. Stay tuned for more. So it's a weird look. We're doing something really special and unique. But not but in my eyes, not really. So the most kind of, I guess, interesting thing that they're going to be pushing out is some form of event, like reshowing the movie on the big screens for people, which is fine. Like I say, that's kind of the big thing that they're doing. These reveals for like studio series stuff, they would have done anyway. There's nothing specifically movie-esque. There's one figure that's specifically movie-esque, who's uniquely movie-esque, I think, but we'll again get to that in a moment. And these stuff kind of cross over with like Jada Toys and stuff like that. I have a feeling won't be as special as it makes it out to be. This feels a bit like a big signal, like, oh, look at this cool 40th anniversary thing we're doing. And it's just more so going to be like half of the course. Could be wrong, but this seems to be going along with the Skybound Transformers Movie Deluxe Edition announcement. So, this is what they say for this, the Movie Deluxe Edition. The Transformers, the movie, hit like a lightning bolt. Anyone who sees it, including me, ! Has at least one moment forever burned into their memory, said senior editor Nachi Marsham, I hope I said that right, reprinting both the original and the 20th anniversary adaptation in this volume is a great way for folks to experience it all again. So, this collection brings together both the classic comic book adaptation of the Transformers the movie, issues 1, 2, and 3 from Marvel, and the Transformers animated movie, issues 1 to 4 from IDW, into one cinematic experience. Okay. Featuring the works of Ralph Macchio, Bob Budiansky, art by Don Perlin, Ian Akin, Brian Gravy, Don Figueroa, and a new cover art by Sean Murphy, who's done Batman White Knight. Batman White Knight? No, you will not imprison Catwoman. She's a delicate angel and she deserves to steal those jewels for herself. I will not allow this to happen. Catwoman's a pussy. Oh, you can't say that, sir. How dare you, Jim Gordon? Oh, Batman White Knight has a fedora which he tips to every enemy he fights before he tussles with them. Lovely. So this is a bit of a, again, I'd say this is a bit of a wet fart kind of thing. It's just like, hey, it's the movie comics from Marvel and IDW. Woo! Okay. It's going to be $34.99. Going to be coming out on the 12th of August of this year. And it's going to be in lots of places. I'm not going to go through all of that. But yeah, are you gagging for the movie comics? Are you? If you are, then this is good news for you. If you're not, like me, this is just like a wow. Ooh, wow, pushing the boat out on this one, aren't you? Just like it. No, no, this it's whatever. XL Head says movie characters we love, a bunch of dead characters, a missing character, and Astrotrain. Yeah, like I say, we'll get to it. XL Head. Mr. White says wish they'd add Target 2006 to that collection, as it was a tie-in. But it wasn't the movie itself, Mr. White. How very silly. What a silly idea that would be. A tie-in to the movie. No one would want that. A reach, but it would have been nice. No, I agree. It would have been something to maybe make it a bit more interesting, because I don't remember the IDW adaptation being like it's not bad. It's just like I think I just didn't care about it when it came out either. It's just I don't know what the Marvel adaptation's like. I imagine again it's very much like a shrug. Like effectively you're getting the same comic twice, or the same comic book story twice in this set. You know, you're just getting a 3-issue version and a 4-issue version, one with old art and one with more modern art. I don't know. It's odd. It's okay, a bit different in terms of story. Okay. So, Cyberworld? Yes, yes. Cyberworld Season 2 is coming out, yeah? Yes. This will be called Energon Surge, which I'm reasonably certain we've probably had that title used before in something Transformers, right? Probably. In some form, I'm sure Energon Surge has been used. But again, Transformers never uses its names. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. So let me read you the blurb. Okay, as for Transformers Cyberworld, the series will make its return to YouTube in August 2026. I know Gruff and his child will be pleased. Also his child. Here's the official synopsis for Season 2. I can't imagine a synopsis is going to be a spoiler, but if you want to jump ahead like 5 minutes, do so. The hunt is on for Energon, and Cyberworld will never be the same. After his adventure with Optimus Prime and Elita 1, Bumblebee discovers a new form of Energon that supercharges his power and increases his size. But too much of this Energon will cause chaos and maybe even unlock Bumblebee's inner rage. Along with the surge in power, new regions, upgrades, and missions are unlocked. New allies drop in, but a new threat also emerges. Across every part of the map, battles will be fought for control, and alliances will be made. Because whoever controls the power of Energon controls all of Cyberworld. So, that's the idea of this new show. They also show us, oh, this was the big fat Bumblebee that we kind of saw this side of, not last week, but the week before. It's the big 4-step changer. So it's Bumblebee turning into a big car that also has a drill on it. The car mode is it's not good. It's not good. There are elements that could be interesting, like I like the cockpit, the place where the drivers would go. I just wish the wheels and the arms just weren't sticking out the sides. Fat Bumblebee definitely looks like a fat boy. He comes with 2 wings, kind of things. They look almost like bug wings that he can wield 2 at a time for the weird Sima Yi kind of fan from Dynasty Warriors of the past, and then he has like an insect drill thing. Oh, okay. So you can get the wing things and you put them on the weird bug thing, and the bug thing looks a bit like the Cyber Bee from Beast Wars. Also, Bumblebee can have a mask. Okay, or rather, it looks no, it's a mask. I thought they were just sunglasses, but it is a sort of mask. It looks like this piece is just a one piece that you use the ear bits of glass of the sunglasses, whatever you call the ear bits of sunglasses. I'm sure they have a fancy name to clip the mask part on as well. It's like, I don't think it looks very cool. Oh, look how much better it looks from the 2D art. Oh, that's weird. They show like they show a fancy car Bumblebee, which might be the old version, and then more of a truck version, which is neither of these vehicles are what this toy is. They show Cyber World B, what I assume is the standard version of him, and then they show what clearly is the truck version of B, who looks way more like movie / Transformers Prime Bumblebee. So I wonder if the suggestion is that Bumblebee is gonna meet another version of Bumblebee. Oh god, I hope we're not doing multiverses. Don't you dare be doing fucking a multiverse Transformers for a cartoon series. I swear to God, don't do it. Don't do it. It's not a good idea because you don't have the writers for it, or you won't be allowed to do interesting stuff with it. It'll just be a wet fart. But we do see a guy that looks suspiciously like Soundwave in the background of the poster. This will continue over to some of the new figures that we see. I will start off with the Optimus Prime, the Cyber Changer Optimus Prime. Optimus Primal figure. This was the figure that I remember them talking about. They said it was a Optimus Primal that turns into a truck. So the truck not monkey meme is here. So this is a 4-step changer. Any moron can do it. It's going to be 10 centimeters tall. It is just Primal, so he does have Optimus Primal face and color scheme. He's also got the Optimus Primal boobs and whatnot. And yeah, he does turn it in. He turns into a sort of truck. A sort of truck. It's definitely a truck. It's not monkey-esque, apart from the feet at the back, which are not hidden. But it's not like a standard Earth truck kind of look either. For some reason, I don't know why. It could be the photo, but it looks like instead of being molded in black plastic, he's been molded in a very dark brown, like dark chocolate kind of brown, for some reason. And I don't know why you'd make Optimus Primal dark chocolate brown. It's an odd choice. There's not much to say about the figure because it's just like it's a 4-step changer. Whatever. What can you say? They also showed off the Cyberworld Armor Cyber Changer Arachnid. So as far as I'm aware, this is the first time we've seen one of these. So it is an Arachnid figure. The box art and the toy gives her the head that is very similar to the Prime iteration of her, though she's not exactly a lithe body-shaped lady, because it's a very basic 4-step changer. She transforms into a spider of sorts. She also has a massive weapon that's far too big for her. I don't even know. Is that like I guess it's a trident? Maybe? Imagine a trident, but without like the long stick part. It's like the top of a trident. It's a little bit too big. I imagine it might weigh down the figure slightly. The spider legs stick out the side of the arms, very similar to Tarantulas and Black Arachnia from ye old days back in the past. It seems like it'd be a okayish kind of figure, nothing too crazy. The spider mode looks kind of nice, except you can see her feet like sticking out of the arse of the spider. But from the front angle, yeah, the spider mode doesn't look too bad. So what's this gimmick? The armored up. Is the armored up version just it comes with a big fucking gun? It looks like it. It seems to suggest that she like the bottom of it, which is the bottom of the hammer that looks a little bit like a sword. If you don't push it all the way through, the weapon's more of a hammer, and then if you push the sword all the way through, it turns into this sort of trident-looking effect. Is that what that means by armored up? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, chat. It's merely an assertion, an assumption. I'm not entirely sure. There we go. There's Arachnid. Nice of her to get another toy. I will say it's better than a Legends figure, and it does look better than the Hasbro attempts of doing her, let's just say. Yeah, the deluxe one Hasbro did was terrible. This looks better than that, and in theory should be cheaper. So there's that. Uh, so at the Hasbro Toy Press, we had a reveal of a load of figures. We have these are all Cyberworld Energy Surge. We've got Bumblebee, Power Spark. We got Autobot Hound, the Ultimate Cyber Chaser. We have Soundwave, the Deep Sea, spelled SEE, not SEA. I think it is meant to be C. The Deep Sea Explorer, the Cyber Chains Optimus Prime and Cheeto, and the Armored Cyber Changes. Oh, sorry, it was Cyber Changes Optimus Prime and Cheeto, and the Cyber Changes Optimus Prime and Megatron. So the Bumblebee is going to be 54.99. This is US dollar reduce, of course. It's going to be the 11-inch robot. Autobot Hound is going to be 21.99. Well, I'll just round them up because it's only a penny. The Soundwave is going to be 33. The Cyber Changes assortment are going to be 11. The Optimus Prime Armor Cyber Changer assortment is going to be 16.99, and there we go. So there's a few figure levels here. So let's have a look at the Soundwave. So this is the weird Soundwave that we saw on the back of the poster. He's not your dad's Soundwave. He has kind of an interesting look, as he's got two big squibbly tentacles on one arm, and then weird, again, not quite tentacles, but looking kind of tentacly-ish on the other arm. So one's further up the arm, the other's, it's like on the back of the forearm, kind of like Megatron's fusion cannon, and then the three are kind of around the wrist area. Soundwave also has kind of a fin motif behind his head, it seems like. And I don't know whether it's meant to be sound waves on his mouth or it's meant to just be pointy teeth for his faceplate. I'm not entirely sure. But he transforms into... Oh, I don't know how to describe it. Kind of like... I don't know. I don't know. It kind of looks a bit like something you'd see from Jason the Wheeled Warriors, but without wheels. Like if you look at Sawboss or something like that, or any of the other weird ones that have the weird faces on the front of their vehicle modes for Jason the Wheeled Warriors, it looks like that, but then without any wheels because it's meant to obviously be underwatery. So I like the front of this for the vehicle mode. I think the front of it's pretty cool with the gigantic face because it does make it look ocean creaturey kind of thing. But then the back, I think, is a bit of a letdown because it's just like Soundwave's pieces are just shunted to the back, and it's like, yeah, his legs are there. It's just his arms are there. We didn't do much to kind of hide it. I have a feeling this giant head in robot mode is just hanging off of his back. I'm gonna assume that's the case. It might not be the case. I'm gonna assume it. And clearly they didn't know what to do with the tentacles because they don't have any function, seemingly, in the vehicle mode. XL Hedge says, Soundwave at Octopunch ATE. I think he's basically saying Octopunch. Sort of. Maybe... Yeah, maybe a bit more submaraudery. Maybe either way, it's that kind of underwater motif. Then we have the Megatron, which has a horrific amount of translucent plastic on it, which is a shame because the general look of the Megatron doesn't look too bad. I assume his fusion cannon here can be swapped onto either arm. If not, that's a bit of a mistake. He has a drill for a hand, and he transforms into a reasonably competent, like, drill tank thing. Again, it looks okay, not great. It's very basic. This is the Surge Armor Cyber Changer. So I'm guessing the Surge Armor is translucent plastic. Ripperoonie Spatoony, I say to thee. Got an Optimus Prime, again, with a lot of translucent plastic. I think these figures would look a little bit better, at least in my humble opinion, if they didn't have so much translucent plastic. Again, for very basic, simple kids' toys. He transforms into a very translucent... It's not a truck he turns into, really. It looks a bit more like a Humvee kind of thing. Looks more like that than a truck. We have Green Dude, who I guess is Hound, who's very crystally. Like his energon stuff looks more like crystal crap than anything else. And he turns into a I don't know what that is. It's got treads, but it's not a tank. It's a futuristic-y kind of looking vehicle. Again, I like the front of it. I think the front of it's kind of a nice design. And there's a lot of white at the front, and then it just goes into green, and clearly we don't really know what to do with the rest of it. Because I'm guessing the transformation is T-pose, put Ironhide in a T-pose, bring his arms in front of his chest, then lift his legs up in front of him and connect arms to legs. And I think that's his transformation. So front of the vehicle mode, I like it. It's a nice design. It's an interesting shape. Cool. Then the back half of it, they kind of went, well, we can't do anything with it. We don't have the budget, so fuck it. Yeah, that's it. Fat Bumblebee, we've talked about. We don't need to talk about Fat Bee again. Da 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 da. We have a Tigatron. This is the Surge Cyber Changes. Oh, it says Cheetor, even though it's white and with translucent blue. My apologies for assuming it's Tigatron, even though that's Tigatron's scheme. This one doesn't look too bad. Again, pretty basic in terms of transformation. It'll be a 4-step change, but it's okay. It does look a bit like a human bending over with his hands on the ground, pretending he's an animal, because that's as much of a transformation as he can get out of it. There's the Surge Changer Optimus Prime, which has a big lump of boring translucent plastic on the chest. Less translucent than the previous Optimus Prime, but looks more like the standard Cyberworld Optimus Prime shape. And looks like he transforms into the standard Cyberworld Optimus Prime truck as well. And that's it. So, again, in essence, there are some things which I like here, but then the translucent plastic, the kind of half-assed end of the transformation, it's one of those things. A lot of these, some more stuff was also shown at the panel, the booth, the stuff. So they also showed off a Spinosaurus Shockwave, and they also showed off they've got this pirate boat dude as well, who I don't know who this is. Have we seen this pirate boat dude before? The pirate boat, if you wondered, looks like Go Kaija. It looks like the Go Kaija boat from the Super Sentai series, which is kind of odd. Hello, Rodimus Power Toy Collector. Welcome. Hope you're doing well today. So we won't talk about just the Soundwave because we've already talked about him, but we get to see him a little bit better here. And we get to see the weird vehicle mode. Yeah, again, the vehicle mode, like I say, the back half of it is half-assed. Yes, I'm happy to state that. The Shockwave is not this thing. This is something else. I don't know what that boat is. Uh-huh. We've got the Insecticon dude. There's the Spinosaurus. It says Spinosaurus. I'm sure it would make Mikey angry to hear it be called that because it looks more like whatever the dinosaur was from Beast Wars Neo, whose spine part opened up like a flower. That guy. Because its legs are low to the ground. It does have a Spinosaurus snout, but it's like laying its belly to the ground. So, in terms of an alt mode for Shockwave, it's definitely different. And the actual robot mode for Shockwave, I mean, it looks like Shockwave, but it's an interesting new look to him. Again, I wish it wasn't like a basic bitch kind of figure, but it looks interesting. Looks like you can pop the legs on and off of it as well. It looks like they're just on not 3mm pegs and ports, but it's some kind of peg and port system. So description says pirate boat Scourge. Oh, does it? Okay, thank you. But we don't see a robot mode for the Scourge, I'm guessing. At least I haven't seen a robot mode for it. But again, I'll give it to it. This is I think this is an interesting looking mode, even though, like I say, it's just pilfered from the Go Kaija boat, and I'll fucking prove it to you. I'll fucking prove it to you. Okay, Go Kaija boat. I'd like a different view of the Go Kaija boat. Yeah, that'll do. Will it bring it up on screen? I want to. There it is. Okay. There you are. There you are. Okay, so there's the Go Kaija boat. There is the boat from Toy Fair. Go Kaija boat. Toy Fair boat. Sword at the front. The front of the boat is very, very similar. Very similar. Pilfered similar. Even the way that the mast has been done is similar to the candy toy version. The Go Kaija one, obviously, this isn't a toy, so they've got extra sails on. When you get the Go Kaija toys, usually it just has the big main sail rather than the extra small ones, most of the time. I think this is a very clear homage or plain pilfering. You may choose which you think it is. But yeah, in terms of interesting kind of creativity, I think this is nice. Should these have been completely new characters? Yes, because this is for kids. Clearly, you're not targeting the adults here, so why not just make brand new characters? I think that's a question, a really interesting question to ask Hasbro. If they're clearly making these shows for really young kids who don't have any pre-existing ideas of what Transformers are and should be and should look like. Why make them look like G1 for the adult fans? I don't think the adult fans are going to be buying 4-step changes, mostly. So, I don't know. It's odd. Either way, I think these are all pretty neat, to be honest. Studio Series, this is the apology to Matrix that they were talking about, even though this is not the first Matrix of Leadership that we've had before. Maybe it's the first official Matrix of Leadership from Hasbro. Maybe that's the case. But this is a replica. It seems like it's meant to be openable. So you can sort of open it up to a point. Obviously not to a point where the little thing floats mid-air, but, it can open up. It glows in the dark. Yippee! Lights. I'm told as well that it can play music. I think if you open it up, there's a USB slot in the back or something like that, if I remember. I think I saw somebody talking about that earlier today. Let me check to see if it's on the front page. Oh, here it is. Transformers leadership toy. This amazing Matrix features a opening action, lights, and plays the touch. So I guess you open it and it goes, "You've got the touch. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You've got the power." I don't know how much of the song it plays, but you know, okay. Okay. Yeah, the one I specifically remember is a statue, because Dave had the statue of the Matrix of Leadership. Obviously, it didn't open up, but the base had the key to Vector Sigma in it as well. Can't remember who made it. I guess maybe this is the first quote unquote role play toy, quote unquote, that they've done. Clearly made for adult hands as well, unless the gentleman holding the Matrix has just very tiny childlike hands. That's fine. I think this is definitely more for an adult collector. Wouldn't be something I would get, but whatever. I don't know what else to say. It's a Matrix of Leadership. It lights up, it makes sounds, and it's like, okay, fair enough. So, a figure that was shown at Toy Fair, or talked about, is apparently the Deluxe Class Star Eagle. We have a thing that says, "Celebrate the 250 years of the USA with Transformers Star Eagle action." A 4.5-inch figure that converts from robot to eagle in 22 steps, because it's the Air Razor mold from fucking Kingdom. We're pulling that sausage out. With details and colors inspired by the American symbols, plus attachable rocket blaster accessory. This Star Eagle figure makes an awesome addition to any collection. Look for more Transformers collectibles, each sold separately, to create a lineup that is more than MCI. And then I vomit on the floor because it says that, because of course it does. Figure's gonna, fuck me, the figure's gonna be $27. $27.99, $28 for Air Razor. Air Razor from fucking Kingdom. It's a repaint of Kingdom Air Razor. Oh, it comes with some new stuff, though. No, it doesn't. Also, right, this is meant to be like celebrating America, right? So the color scheme is a dark blue, a lighter blue, gray, and red. Not white. The wings have white on it and white in the head. But man, I reckon it would have been cooler slash way more American to have the American flag over the wings, right? So the entire bird back is the American flag, all of it. So so in top of the bird mode, that's an American flag. In robot mode, you can unfurl the wings and the American flags on the wings there as well. Should have came with I think should have came with a new head that maybe has a piece that you pull off and it's like the American Uncle Sam head. So it looks like Uncle Sam's head. Maybe it has a top hat. Maybe it's a removable top hat and it's a piece that you have to parts from because you can't do anything with it, so you just pop it off and pop it on. That would be something I'd go, that's fucking cheesy, but it's really cool. That's American as fuck. This is just kind of like, do you want blue air razor? I'm like, not particularly. Not really. Not for $28. $28? I'm sure standard figures, Excel Hedge. What's standard like deluxe figure price where you're from? Because like for the UK, it's like I'm pretty sure it's 25. I can't imagine it's more than 25 in America. So this is like special, and it's extra. Lazy repaint. At least it's not all red. I guess. I think my version's better. I think a giant American flag on it would have been way cooler. Maybe instead of the missiles on the side of the arms, maybe it comes with like oh, that'd be cool, like a flag, like a big American flag. Or it comes with something stupid, like it comes with a book and the Statue of Liberty torch, right? That would be stupid. All you do for the book, because the Statue of Liberty holds a book, you get the book from Alphatron. You just recolor that. Maybe you recolor that to have like a tampograph of the American flag on it. That'd be cool. So again, just stupid stuff. Maybe you don't give it like the Uncle Sam head. I think that would be the smarter way to do. Maybe you give it like a Davy Crockett hat or head design, and it comes with like a Winchester, a Winchester rifle. That would be cool. Brad says 25 here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Pom poms, yeah, pom poms would be nice. XL Head says 20 to 25, possibly 28 with sales tax. I assume 28 for this figure is not with sales tax, though. I assume. I might be wrong. So to me, this feels like a half-assed thing where you could have done something really stupid and fun and be very American about it. And you are like Hasbro's an American company. If I see something American, I want it to be almost cringy from a British perspective of how fucking American patriotic it is. That's what I want. Because that's what I expect from America. I expect slightly cringy amounts of patriotism. That's what I like about America. That's what I wanted to see here, and it's just a half-assed repaint. So, eh. That's what I got to say. So, the reveals of the Studio Series 2026 Wave 2 figures. We have 2 new figures and 2 re-releases of figures who I think are exactly the same, and 2 slight remolds. Oh, and a guy with a matrix. So let's go through them. Let's go through the lame ass bitches first. So Sunstreaker. The Sunstreaker figure, as far as I know and can tell, is the Sunstreaker that came with the 5-pack. The one that had no translucent windows. And it's just all solid plastic. I know because I have that figure and it looks exactly the same. I like that figure, but it's weird because at this point, that 5-pack box set has almost all been fully released individually now. The only one they haven't re-released now from that set, I think, is Trailbreaker / Trail Cutter. And I wouldn't be shocked if they did that. Also, remember Sunstreaker's amazing contribution in the movie where he was in the background when Optimus Prime said, Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost. And Sunstreaker was just kind of stepping out of the the jet. Yeah, it's okay, fair enough. So it's that one. And hey, guess what? I'm pretty sure that it's the exact same wheeljack from that set as well. No extra tampos, because that figure could have done with way more tampos to make it prettier, just a little bit tighter, just a little bit nicer. But fine, it was in a 5-pack, whatever. No, it's just the same figure again from that 5-pack. Okay. If you didn't get that 5-pack, well, you can get this one now, I suppose, because this, in my opinion, these are the better versions of those figures. No translucent plastic. They're a little bit nicer to look at, I think. And they look more like the cartoon versions of themselves. Mr. Brad says, too much stuff about there being more than one yellow. Too much stuff about there being more than one yellow. It's just a toy. It's just a toy. TB is coming. Tuberculosis? TB. TB. Who TB? I don't know who TB be. So yeah, again, these two figures, these two deluxes, kind of meh. Oh, Trailbreaker, of course, Trailbreaker. Excelhead says, got Skybound Trailbreaker flashback. Such a gruesome way to go. I'll have to take your word for it. So yeah, nothing exciting here. I'm guessing they're re-releasing Snarl. They've got Snarl up here, so I'm guessing Snarl's getting a re-release if he's not already out. Okay, fair enough. What's the other one? Oh, the other one mentioned, we're leaving the new ones to later. Skywarp. No surprise. We've got Thundercracker. Skywarp's the next one. So a little bit surprising. Starscream's the last one. I think that's a bit of a shock. Skywarp is the same. He just has a new face. He's very, 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 very grumpy. He's very grumpy. I'm glad they gave him a different expression to Thundercracker. I'm not sure I would have made him this grumpy. He's like comically grumpy here. But okay, whatever. I think the mold's been well received. It's better than the Earthrise mold. The colors on it look good and solid. This isn't a surprise. It's like, oh, here's Starscream. And you go, yes, there's Starscream. Maybe what they'll do for Starscream, maybe they'll be pretty lame and they'll go leader Starscream. He comes with the coronation stuff and you go, fine. I could see them maybe doing that. I'd hope they don't, but I could see them maybe doing that. Like I say, no huge shock here. Mr. Brad says, the original release on Sunstreaker caused nonsense due to the yellow not matching the roof. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, well, it was painted yellow on molded yellow. So that's another reason why this Sunstreaker was much nicer. Also, just no translucent plastic. I've said for many, many years, Hasbro can rarely ever do translucent plastic well. They rarely ever know how to do it successfully when it comes to like cars. Here on Skywarp and Thundercracker, not an issue. On things like most cars, where they just paint it over the top, a bit rough. Shockwave apparently has been remolded from the Siege War for Cybertron figure, but effectively it's the same figure we've had quite a number of times now. It is mildly different, is what I've said, is what I say. People say apparently parts have been remolded to make him look smoother. If you say so. The main difference is now he can be held by Combiner Wars Bruticus. Well, not held, but he can connect to the shoulder of of the new Bruticus figure. I wouldn't say that's enough to really justify going, yeah, I need to get rid of my old Shockwave for this new Shockwave. If you already have it, because this figure's came out quite a number of times. I thought I heard somewhere that they got rid of the millimeter ports on him. I can see some millimeter ports on him anyway, so I guess that was wrong. Okay. But again, it's just like the Shockwave's come out quite a few times, repainted, coming out in Japan. There was the comic version that Hasbro did for Hasbro Pulse, that came alongside the King Grimlock one with the extra comic hash hash kind of patterns on it. So it's like, okay, fine. I wouldn't say that's a very cool thing to do either. That's very much a shrug. We have something that's interesting. It's called Kranix, everyone's favorite Transformer from the Transformers movie. He apparently transforms into a flying duck, which is people have touted as being accurate to the comic, and in essence they're right, but this has a lot of gaps in it, unfortunately, and it just does look ridiculous. Let me try and find the original image for his alt mode, because it is quite a thing. It's one of those things where you look at it and go, you didn't have to do this. Some people might have said, he's not accurate. You really want him to be accurate, is what I would say. You really want him to be accurate? Okay, there it is. No, come on. Clicked on the link and now you're not showing me nothing. The TF Wiki that has it. Why wouldn't you just take me to the TF Wiki, my dude? Oh my god. Oh no, there it is, TF Wiki. Praise be the TF Wiki. Boop. So there's Kranix. There's its weird duck plane mode. There it is. My description of this toy was you went about it and you thought about if you could, you didn't think if you should. So although it's I'd say it's interesting that we have a Kranix figure coming. I can't say that I personally am one that goes, oh shit, it's Kranix. Time to run out and buy him. But it's like I say, it's interesting. It's just not something I really care about. The robot mode, I think, looks okay. He's maybe a little bit on the fat, chunky side to accommodate him transforming. Fine. The duck plane mode, not as cool. Let's see what chat said. I've seen some things go by. XL Head says, guess Starscream is last because he'll have the coronation gear. That's what I was thinking. They want distance from the last coronation release. There's that, and you're already grandfathered in, right, with that mold. Like, you already have Thundercracker. You already have Skywarp. You have to suck it up, basically, and you have to get the Starscream. Whether you want him with the coronation set or not, tough tits. You're already 2 in. You can't not get the Starscream, right? So it's too bad. XL Head says, Smooth Wave. Still missing drones. Hope Siege Shockwave can combine with Bruticus. I don't think it can. I think people have said that's the quote unquote new part of the mold. It's that. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I think we'll obviously find out once people get Bruticus combined and in hand, and obviously if they have that Shockwave as well. But Mr. Brad says, no wonder he didn't fly off at the start of the movie. True, he had no bits on him, or he was too smooth. Guilty. Oh, you mean Kranix? Yeah. Maybe it's not a plane mode. Maybe it is like a weird boat. Maybe it is a weird boat mode. Yeah. Kranix. It's a thing. It's a thing. And then we come to poor Astrotrain. Oh, Astrotrain. So, okay. Astrotrain's train mode is certainly an improvement. The train mode is much. Let's get for reference. Siege Astrotrain, because that's the last Astrotrain we got. I think we all knew Astrotrain was coming. Siege. Let's spell correctly, Andy. Astro. Come on, T. Astrotrain. Okay, we've got the image. I've got the image of the Twain mode, at least, as long as you actually load the fucking image. Come on, man. Come on, show me that fucking train. So I think we can all agree the train mode on Siege Astrotrain, bad. Not good. I don't need that. The train mode for Studio Series Astrotrain, good. I think that's reasonably accurate. It looks like the little piston things on the wheels. Like, as soon as you move those wheels, it's going to move that as well. I think that's good. That's neat. It comes with a slightly unnecessary smoke effect part. That's fine. It's unnecessary, but it's cute. You know, definitely an improvement over that. 100% like that. Shuttle mode. Hmm. Hmm. Where is it? There it is. Shuttle mode. Shuttle mode gets a little bit messy, especially at the back. The front doesn't look quite right either. Again, it's not accurate to the movie or the look of the cartoon. Let's get an image of Astrotrain's cartoon mode, just again for comparison. Transformers, the movie, Astrotrain. Hopefully, it'll actually show us the shuttle mode. No, shuttle. There it is. Okay. Image of the shuttle mode. So that's what Astrotrain shuttle mode should look like, especially for for a Studio Series version of Astrotrain. Okay? Right. We don't need that. So that is the shuttle mode that we've got for the Siege one. I think that's reasonably close to the animation model. It looks close enough. It's not perfect. It's a little bit ropey, and again, the back gets messy. But going back and forth, you go, yeah, that's similar. So, is that the case when we look at the Studio Series 1? No. The nose isn't right. It's got extra bits under the nose cone. The back is just a mess. There's way too much purple up front as well. I can see what they've tried to do. They've tried to have this big purple line go from the back and move up to the center part of it. And it's not really worked. It just, unless this is massively mistransformed, which it might be, it's just, again, pretty messy looking. And this is a triple changer. So there's that thing of like triple changes always have one bad mode. That's fair. I see he has two bad modes. I am not a fan of the Astrotrain robot mode. I described him, and I think reasonably accurately. Maybe you'd say this is unfair. I described him as looking like he's on Ozempic. And a great example is this image. It didn't help that they mistransformed the chest for the production images. They didn't fold down his boobs, and they don't have his like little wings out for whatever reason. So that wasn't a great call to begin with. And his thighs are very thin. His arms are very thin. He's in a little bit of a better pose here. He's got massive ankle spurs to hold up clearly the massive weight on his back. I just don't think this translates very well. And let's look at the Studio Series version. The Siege version. Quite big, quite chunky, not exactly accurate either. But again, I think a better looking Astrotrain than the Studio Series 1. Again, if we're looking back and forth between the two of them, this looks a bit like a third party's first attempt at it. And I think he was undeserved. Like, what is he? What class is he? He's a leader? I thought he was. Oh, God. I thought he was a Voyager. I was going to say, for a Voyager, they've tried their best for a Voyager. This is a leader. This is a leader. Oh dear. If this was your best attempt at a leader, I think you maybe should have considered making him a commander class. I don't think it would have been perfect at commander class, but you could justify because sometimes Astrotrain is bigger than other Decepticons. Not all the time. Sometimes he's tall in robot mode. He's obviously much bigger in shuttle mode and train mode, so Decepticons can ride in him. But sometimes he's bigger in robot mode. I definitely would have edged more that way since I don't think we ever No, we do see Astrotrain. We see Astrotrain is slightly bigger than Starscream at the coronation scene. Right? I think. Yeah, because he's the one who crowns him, I'm pretty sure. I think this is a bit of a flub. I think this is a miss. Quite a big miss. It's disappointing. So we got Chronix, who's interesting but weird and slightly lame for his alt mode. And then we have Astrotrain, who has one really good train mode. Definitely a fan of the train mode. A shuttle mode that's pretty wonky, and then I would say a pretty bad robot mode. Mr. Brad is all in on Astrotrain. I hope you like it, man. I hope you like it. I've got a lot of issues with it. I think there are a lot of problems here. XLHead says Chronix should have been a weaponizer so he could be torn. That's a great idea. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, Chronix should have been a weaponizer. I don't think. No, he's not a weaponizer. I'm looking at him. Yeah, I agree. I think it would have been more fun to make him a weaponizer. He wouldn't. He would have had the issues that weaponizers would have had, but that is a good call and a really morbid but fun call. I would have liked that. I would have preferred that over Duck Boat, definitely. XL Head says, just realized they designed this Astro train to do the mid-air flip from train to shuttle. Have they? When you say that, do you mean they actually designed it that way, or it just seems like they've designed it that way? Oh no, because this was part of the video, wasn't it? It was part of this stupid video. Like I'm gonna assume that the transformation's not bad. I don't think it'll be a bad transformation. I'm just saying the overall product is not the best looking. Man, Kranix looks weird flying around. The actual stop animation they've done for this little video is pretty. It's good. It's really fucking smooth. The animations there were smooth. I think there were maybe more than 25 frames per second. Maybe I don't know. That seemed like a lot of work. So yeah, this wave, yeah. So like I say, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna say four figures that are just like re-releases, effectively, recolors, mild retools, and just pure re-releases. We've got an Astrotrain who's the leader, who I'd say is a big flop. Like, compare Astrotrain here to Leader Megatron. Now, granted, Leader Megatron has an absolute dogshit alt mode as well. At least his robot mode looks good. Kranix, I'd be tempted by Kranix for like 10 quid. £10, I'd consider Kranix, just because he's a weird dude and he's a really weird design. I'd consider it, but otherwise, no. I think maybe the best figure is Skywarp. If I was to say, like, who's your favorite figure? Probably Skywarp. Maybe I'd get Shockwave if he comes down in price, because I don't have this mold at all. So for me, who doesn't have the mold, it's reasonably useful, especially if it goes on sale. So if it goes on sale, I'm fine. Otherwise, I can, again, just kind of skip out on this. So last bits of news for this week. TFCon in March, 13th to the 15th, is getting Putukulan and Frankmas Welkorlian. Frank Welker. So if you are going to the place of Los Langalizos, you can go and see those two lads, and you can hug them and be like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I'm gonna kill myself, I love you. Don't do that, but you could do that. Some people maybe have done that in the past. Don't be that person, though. Don't do it. But yes, that's all the news for this week, so I can go briefly through what I've been doing, what I've been up to, the small little bits. I finished rewatching Gundam Wing, which was quite fun to do. I still think the dub makes it a little bit messy by the end. I still like the beginning of Gundam Wing versus the end of Gundam Wing. And I've also started rewatching Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Let's fucking go! Because Star Trek Deep Space Nine's really fucking cool. And in terms of stuff I've bought and have received Volume 3 of Gundam The Origin. I think it's just called Rambaral. So that's good. So I haven't finished Volume 2, but I've got Volume 3 because I saw it on a decent deal and thought, well, I may as well just get it now. Who needs money? Not me. Who needs to eat? Not Andy. And what was the other kit I got? Oh, it was this one. Okay. I'm just pulling up the images of the figures that I picked up and have started building and have built. Because I got a box of Gundams. Because again, who needs money? Not me. Not Andy. There's the sausage. There's one of them. And then I got one kit from Gundam Seed Freedom. which is an awful movie because, well, it's Seed, so it's about the same writing quality you would expect from that. And I got 2 kits from The Witch of Mercury, which is, again, not a very great show, but has some very good model kits, to be fair. So, I've bought and built the Michael. The Michael is very cheap suit. It was only like 1,000 yen. So I was like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah. It said it had pretty good reviews. I built it and was like, yeah, this was a really fun build, a unique, interesting, not standard Gundam looking Gundam. It's missing one hand and has a gigantic gun hand, which is pretty neat. That kind of opens up as well to like a bigger gun. It also has these aren't part of the kit. These are just showing you can mix and match. Where's the gun opening hand? Yeah, this gigantic gun hand. Each of the sides are gigantic claws that kind of splay open eventually. When I find the photos of them, there it is. They splay open like that, revealing the gun in the center, and they also have little claws that pop out as well. It's pretty neat. I still need to do the cut the pieces out that allow you to make it stand on its own. You get a little wire, and you can have it float around as like a floating bit. Which is kind of neat. It's just overall a pretty neat little kit that was fun to build. Has really nice plastic. The kind of grayish plastic on it. If you've got really small nub marks, you can just use your fingernail. The white is harder plastic, so you have to actually use a file to kind of smooth that stuff out. Same with the bluish purpley kind of plastic, but this darker grayish plastic, you can just use your fingernail. It's really nice and smooth to kind of clean off. I also got the Daryl Blade. Daryl Blade? Is that what it's called? I got that. I'm in the process of making it. I've made its legs so far, so I can't really say too much about it, but I got it because it looked really nice. I heard good reviews on it as well. And so far, again, I don't like the Witch of Mercury show. I think it was, again, wasted potential, and it was a crappy love story that wasted all of the show's potential for interesting storytelling, which they kind of shoved in right at the end. But in terms of kits, they made some pretty good quality kits, man. It's this one's pretty nice. I wish it didn't come with a gigantic gold sticker that really wants you to paint it rather than have it as a big old blob of gold, to be honest. So I might do that eventually. There is an upgrade kit for this one. The Michael is and the Fanact or an Enact. There's another one where you can get extra pieces, and I'm tempted to do that just to upgrade. I just need the other one, and I'm tempted by that anyway. So it's like, well, I get that. I get the upgrade kit. It's again, this one has like removable. You can remove its arms and or legs, I think, and have them float around because that's the idea of what they did in the show, which is a neat idea. It's like, oh, this is kind of, I pull my arm off and throw it at you, and it floats around and tries to kill you. Neat idea. I like it. It's a neat looking kit, and I'm enjoying building it so far. And the last kit I got was, I hate Seed. I've always hated Seed. However, my guys, they did a Zagok. I love the Zagok. I love the Aqua Mobile suits. And fuck me if they're gonna not do a revive Zagok in the future. So I will take a Seed figure that I don't like from a movie that I think was shit, because my boy, the Zagok, has came back. And this was a really good kit. It's maybe more expensive than it should be. You could cut out money from it if you didn't give it the backpack, because it comes with a fancy backpack. And then it has internal nonsense, which is the spoilers for the movie, because there's like an internal hidden freedom. No, not freedom. Infinite? The purple one. Infinite Justice torso on the inside of it. I'll find the image of it. Yeah, it's not just a head. It's a full torso and thighs. There are thighs in there as well. The idea is that you can replace it with the standard high-grade kit. I don't know why you would. It would be a faff to unbuild the kit and then put the thing inside to then have it completely covered up so you can't see it. Seems rather redundant. Again, this is why it's kind of odd that these pieces are in here in the first place, because they're just covered up. You can't tell it's on the inside. So why is it there? Great thing about this kit over the original Zagok, its mono eye actually moves. So you can swivel it around. It's not a sticker for the mono eye either. It's like a clear part. So it looks really nice. The way that they've done the arms is pretty interesting because on the original Zagok, it was a ball joint that had a this round piece on that would connect into another ball joint that would connect into another ball joint, etc., for a few times. So you had a bit of articulation to it, but wasn't a lot. While here it is a kind of um multi-jointed long pole, let's call it, just for simplicity's sake. And you put these rounded covers kind of over the top. They loosely hang around it. They does have a slight issue of sometimes these pieces get a little bit messy. You can right here, you can see that the gaps between like the thick part and the thinner part are not exactly the same, just because they don't lie nicely on top of each other. But it allows the figure to have, for the size of it, because it's quite a big kit, like tall wise, has quite a nice amount of posability to it, and keeps the kind of pipe like look to the arms and the thighs that it has. So it's reasonably posable. Again, there's the thigh, extra pieces that you just don't need because you know it's hidden. You also get a foot, which is again hidden at the bottom of the feet, which again unnecessary. There are a lot of unnecessary parts that just feel like they've bumped up the price of the kit. The backpack is kind of cool. It transforms into its own plane. It's you can have it as like a standard plane, or you can unclip the wings and have them spread out, so it's like an X-wing plane. And you can, if you really want to, add beams between the wings, which seems really stupid. Because these wings aren't long enough to be used as like flying through people, right? They need to be way longer for them to be useful in combat. They're way too close. They look cool though. At the very least, it looks cool. So this image here, this is the thing that hides inside of this. A really fun piece is you get one kind of extra piece, which is a damaged portion of the head, which is gonna, I'm sure, come up at some point in these images, right? Right? Yeah, there's a damaged one, so you can replace it. So you want to. The problem is this bit needs a lot more paint on it, but it can like allow you to see the infinite underneath it. He has a little pincy hands, which can turn into heated versions. So you just replace the hands with an extra pair of hands, which are nice translucent orange. But yeah, I've still been really enjoying building kits, Gundam kits. It's pretty fun. I'm looking at getting a top coat, maybe, and then maybe painting some Gundams in the future when the weather is a bit more pleasant in summertime. At least that's the hope and the dream. Anything else I've been up to? We've started playing Final Fantasy VIII on stream. We've finished Man Eater. Man Eater, I would have said, was a very £5-10 kind of game. It's perfectly fine, but you get to grips with everything that it does within the first 10 minutes, and it never really expands out from there. It's just like, yep, it's fine. So we're going with Final Fantasy VIII, playing that because I haven't played it in years. I gave my people on Discord a chance to choose, and that's what they chose, so that's what we're doing. And I watched the PlayStation game event thing. That was reasonably disappointing. There were only a couple of things in there that was like, oh, Legacy of Kain Defiance, again, a remaster. I was like, oh, okay. I like Defiance. Apparently, there's going to be playable parts of what would have been the next game in there as well, which will make me very sad, because I was very sad that Defiance was the last of the Soul Reaver other Legacy of Kain games. So there's that. It's also, again, a 2D side-scroller, which I'm not sure exactly where that's taking place in the timeline, but I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, maybe. Castlevania, the new Castlevania game, which is a standard Castlevania game, but done by the Dead Cell people. I think it's Dead Cells, which makes sense because Dead Cells did a crossover with Konami, and they had a DLC that was similar to Castlevania. So clearly Konami was happy with what they did and went, do you want to make us a Castlevania game? Because we ain't making games anymore, so we can sell you the IP if you like. And they were like, yes, we'll take it. And then they announced, it's very early in production, but the remake of the God of War 1, 2, and 3 trilogy, the OG, So I'm like, okay, that could be interesting. It's a little bit of a sad time where like the most exciting stuff, arguably, is remakes of older, arguably better games. Take this under note that I don't care about your well, Excel Hedge, not new Legacy of Kain. Defiance is not new; it's just a remaster, and the stuff that they showed is the game that was cancelled. So it's like in Soul Reaver how they gave you the incomplete levels, which would allow you to kind of like run around them and see what the unused levels were like. It's going to be the same there. So it's going to be like here's a like maybe the intro level or something like that, and have nothing else to it but the ability to run around in it. I assume. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe they'll have a lot of info in there. Uh, Maybe though they'll keep it close to the chest because the hope and the dream is always that hey, maybe they'll make another Soul Reaver game or a Legacy of Kain game to finish it off. Because I don't think Cam Clark's dead, so I think you could still get Kain. Uh, I think Michael Bell's still alive, right? So you could get Raziel back. Well, you can't get Raziel back because Raziel's dead. Unless you wanted to do something with him in the story and you wanted to do like a flashback or something like that, then you could phone up Michael Bell, I suppose, right? But yeah, yeah. But that's it, guys. That's what we've been up to this week. That's all I've done, I think. All that's fun. The rest of it's just like, hey, waiting for NHS appointments. Good luck with that, right? Ooh. So, no, Andy, we're also getting the 2D game. Yeah, I kind of don't consider that a new Legacy of Kain game. I know it technically is, but I don't class it because if I remember right, I think it takes place before Soul Reaver. I think you play as Raziel as a vampire. So it's not going to be doing too much story wise, obvious reasons, because it has to end with Raziel being chucked into the big puddle, the big vortex. So anyway, new game is a Soul Reaver 1 prequel. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, that's what I assumed it was, and I was right. I knew it. Oh. Anyway, thanks very much for coming on by, everybody. We'll be back next week with Big D to talk about what are we talking about? Is it the start of? Oh, it's the Generations line. It's the Generations line with Soap Dish, Scourge, and those figures. Okay, so that's what we'll be doing next week. We'll be back here next week. Thanks very much for coming on by. You can find us on the Moonbase 2 forums, but on Twitter, Twitch, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. You can find us here on a Sunday at 9:30 in the evening UK time. If you want to come and join us like the fabulous people who have joined us today, thank you very much, everybody. Much appreciated. Thank you for coming and talking and all that jazz. And you can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube as Decayed Andy. And in those places as well to watch my gaming stuff where I play video games and whatnot. Anyway, thank you guys, and I will see you with Big D next week, everyone. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Yeah. I see you too, Bradley.